Hello, and welcome back to another Mafia congressional campaign video. In case you missed the first, you can check it out on the Flurry.com website under JD's profile menu, or the Flurry YouTube and Rumble platforms in order to make America free intellectually again. But the meaning behind Mafia does not only stand for a censor-free America, it also finally represents a transparent government as well. Now, if only I could promise to get the JFK info released at this stage in my political aspirations. Unfortunately, though, that will have to wait.
Hint, hint.
But what I'm able to promise is fighting for something neither President Trump nor Biden have been willing to do. Now, I'm guessing you didn't know that Congress has the power to accomplish this, but the ability to pardon Americans is also within the People's House abilities as well. I bet you're questioning, how is this a possibility? Well, first you have to remember the first pardon was given by George Washington in 1790, which means our population was a mere 3.9 million citizens. So if you add for inflation today,
Right, Biden?
then you should come to realize that that power should not be only in one man's hands when there are almost 400 million patriots in the US today. So an amendment to the Constitution must be made, giving Congress with at least 3/4 in agreement to be able to make this enormous decision as well. So with that in mind, when elected, I declare my second action on the floor will be to create this amendments bill in order to be able to pardon 2 individuals. Not only are these 2 patriots in my personal opinion, but have also clearly done nothing wrong. But before we discuss that, another unimaginable attack on our democracy has recently occurred, weakening the freedom of press, which cannot be overlooked or understated.
Let me just say that I'm not suicidal. I love my life.
For this, there needs to be an investigation into the FBI and all involved in the raid on Project Veritas, which once elected Mafia will fight to make certain this unjust defiling of our First Amendment ceases immediately.
The Guardian, they destroyed their laptop computers. They've got it on film, putting angle grinders to computer chips, trying to erase any trace that these stories have been written.
So now with all that in mind, let's now jump into the pardons that are at this point probably obvious to everyone that's been paying attention. Beginning with Julian Assange. He's a political prisoner for doing nothing more than CNN, The Washington Post, or any other corporate media outlet. The only difference is he did the journalism himself instead of being fed garbage by the intelligence agencies. So his crime literally comes down to being too good at his job and sticking to his principles, which I honestly wish more people on this planet could accomplish.
Now, Julian was not deterred by that, and he never would be. When you perform the level of surveillance against a person that has clearly been performed and is being performed, even today, certainly in prison, against Julian Assange, you understand at least something about that character. You understand what the breaking point is. You know what it'll take to make them bend. And he didn't bend. He will break before he does. He has consistently and continuously dared to speak the unspeakable in the face of opposition, in the face of power, and that is a remarkable and rare thing. That is the reason that Julian Assange sits in prison today.
Now speaking of the intelligence agencies, yep, you guessed it, Edward Snowden not only needs to be pardoned, but has to be welcomed back to America with a parade down Constitution Street in Washington, D.C. Yes, the road that leads to the White House is honestly named after our most important document, which includes the First Amendment, which if that doesn't tell you something the intelligence agencies won't, then I guess I misplaced my tinfoil hat.
If you love the truth, as I think everyone here does, you wouldn't be listening to this, you wouldn't be watching this, you wouldn't be participating in this, you wouldn't care about this unless something in you told you that something important was happening here.
Yep, but regardless, a pardon isn't the only thing this man deserves for being the one civil servant to actually serve the American people. But because I'm not running for president,
Yet.
I can't promise this next part. But if I was, Mr. Snowden would be the head of the entire collection of intelligence agencies to clean them up once and for all, finally arranging them to accomplish what their true goals were supposed to be when they initially begun, which is of course to serve in the best interests of Americans, not to spy on the individual and declare our great patriots the enemies of these United States, as well as hold others accountable regardless of status.
Epstein Island. Gates.
You are a criminal of the same category. In the eyes of the state, what differentiates you, what divides you from him, that is only the degree. Share the same guilt. Our unindicted co-conspirators, the shares in the forbidden desire to see justice done not merely to the instruments of these darkest moments of the human condition that we've heard about all day here, torture, extrajudicial killings, aggressive war, but to see justice done to their architects. And I have to say, here, each of us will also share, and to me it will happen without the faintest regret, in his ultimate fate.
Oh, sorry about that. Must be the vid. But since the presidency is not within my grasp,
Just yet.
we would have to settle for welcoming the man home, free from tyranny. So with that said, please remember a vote for JD in New Jersey's 2nd District is not only a vote for Mafia, but a vote for your freedom as well. And remember, I'm not a millionaire like most of our congressmen, or definitely at least my opponents. So please like and share to spread this message as far and wide as you can.